Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, another video. Would you like to finally advance past the small room where the red hunters are on the Nexus mission in the Halo Infinite campaign? Well, lucky for you, I went through some serious pain so you don't have to. I found just about the only spot in this room where you can actually hide and get some cover from the hunters. And I'm going to show you exactly how I was able to find the spot and explain what you need to do, especially if you're playing on Lasso like I was without the Scorpion gun or any Spartan Core upgrades. Now, if you end up finding this spot useful or end up using it during your playthrough, I really appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel just for the amount of pain that I went through just to make this video. It really helps me out at the end of the day and only takes a second of your time, and it really shows your appreciation for what I do. So let's jump right into the video. What you're going to want to do is grapple directly across the room over here to these small crates. And what you're going to want to do is shoot the hunter that's on the left side of the room, try and force him away from these crates, and then you're going to want to switch your equipment from the grapple to the deployable shield. And what you're going to want to do is crouch in this corner in between the crates and the middle pylon that's in the wall. And once you do that, you want to place the deployable shield right at your feet, just like I'm doing here in the video, and it'll actually form essentially a shield bubble around you, just like back in the day in Halo 3. Now, what you're going to want to do is pay very close attention to where the hunters exactly are, because sometimes one of the hunters will end up creeping up on you from the right side, and you're going to want to blast him with the rocket launcher or some grenade just to keep him away from you. Otherwise, he's going to try and melee you, or he's going to end up shooting a blast over the top of the shield potentially, depending on how you have it placed. Now, what I recommend you have equipped is the shock grenades along with the rocket launcher. Now, what you're going to want to do is use the rocket launcher to push one of the hunters to the opposite side of the room so that you only have one hunter shooting at you at a time. That way, it's more manageable and they're less likely to break through your shield, as you just saw right there. And trust me, this is about the only spot where you can actually seriously hide from the hunters for any length of time. Because trust me, I tried just about everything on this level. I tried rocket launcher, needler, pretty much everything I could think of, and just nothing worked at all except for this spot right here. And just look at the amount of damage these hunters are trying to inflict upon me, and the shield's just blocking it like a champ. It also seems like there's an invisible barrier on the crates that also seems to take some of the blast. Otherwise, I feel like this shield would get taken down pretty fast by these hunters. Also, another very important thing to keep in mind is this spot is not a spot where you can just sit back and relax. You want to pay very active attention to what health your shield has, as well as about how long you placed it, because the shield will time out, and if the hunters end up shooting at you right at that time, they end up dying and it gets very old. If you want to see about half the deaths I suffered on this mission, I ended up going through about 2 hours worth of gameplay and cut it down to 40 minutes of me pretty much just straight dying from these red hunters, trying about everything in the book, and just nothing worked at all. Now, you also want to be very careful to try and not lose any health from these hunters, because just like I did right here, I was able to actually get a checkpoint once I killed one of them. And man, I got tricked by that shield placement. I thought I placed it down perfectly because I didn't take any damage. Turns out I actually placed it a little bit higher on the ledge of that crate, and the hunter ended up taking me out. But fortunately, because of that checkpoint, I didn't have to worry about it at all, and I was able to come right back here to this spot. And in my opinion, I'd say the most annoying thing about these red hunters and what makes them one of the hardest bosses to face in this game is that red minigun they added to them, which essentially heat seeks you. And you can only take a couple shots from it, otherwise you just instantly die. And it can be very annoying to face them, because the old hunters back in the other Halos, regular fuel rod cannon, which you could very easily dodge as long as you timed everything correctly. But with these hunters, there's really no avoiding that minigun cannon. It heat seeks you just like a bunch of drones, essentially. Now, what I also found once you get down to this final hunter like I am right now, is that he will tend to want to hide behind that pillar in the center of the room that will actually open up for you to drop down in. And what you just want to do is shoot rockets on each side of it and not try and hop out and engage him directly. Otherwise, there's a very good chance you're going to end up dying. You just want to make sure you stay on top of the shield over here and just keep placing it down periodically, just in case he ends up popping out. Now, also, if you end up playing on Lasso like I am right here, I'm sure this will work on pretty much any other difficulty, but if you're playing on Lasso, I definitely recommend you use the hop method like I am right here, staying within the shield, because otherwise you have a very good chance as soon as you leave the protection of the shield of just dying instantly as soon as the hunter sees you. And man, just look at how strong these hunters are. I can shoot rocket after rocket after rocket, and they just keep taking it, and there's really nothing I can do to kill them any faster. And that's honestly probably what is most annoying about these hunters, is when I was facing them without using this spot, is I get them so close to death, and then one of them would just happen to end up killing me, and it reset me right back to where they had full health. And just like that, a couple rockets later, and the hunter's finally dead. Now if you're playing on any other difficulty except for Lasso, you may or may not have on the bandana skull, which actually gives you unlimited ammo and prevents the cooldown of your equipment, such as the drop shield or the grapple or any other equipment. Now if this is the case, I suspect that you are going to have to spend some Spartan cores to actually upgrade your shield so you can deploy it faster, but other than that you shouldn't have any issues. As always, if you ended up finding this video useful or helpful at all, I'd really appreciate it if you liked the video. Comment down below what boss you want to see next or any question you've got about the campaign, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace.
That was fun. Want to do it again?